Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. It has been a really long ass time since I last did a currently inked, as I explained in a couple of other of my sporadic videos this year. I've been just so freaking busy and focused on a 4-volume release of a book that just came out earlier this month. So I really didn't have much of any time for anything but, the final editing and proofing. And I'm going to try, well, we'll see how well this works out, to just do paint brushes instead of the usual back of the glass dip pen for doing the little miniature swatches, because I'm sick to the freaking back teeth of the other side of the page pretty much being like useless because it just bled through so damn much. It's just like not who I am. I just like to use as much of a paper as I can. I mean, of course, I'm gonna think of other things to like write or draw on this part of the page, but like I just really sick of this constantly bleeding through. Whereas when I did the ink vent miniature swatches with paintbrushes, like they almost never like bled through onto the other page. So let's just start going through what's currently inked this month. First up, from Pannonia, one of my absolute favorite ink brands. I'm so glad I discovered them a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, they don't really seem to be too widely available in the US. I think Goldspot and Endless Pens are the only retailers off the top of my head that are America-based I'm aware of, which carry them. You can also get them from Cult Pens in the UK. This is called Turuk Kick. Hopefully I'm not mangling that pronunciation too badly. It means Turkish blue in Hungarian. If you're not really into like Hungarian culture and history like I am, you might not like be aware of the fact that the Ottomans, the Turks, they occupied Hungary for about 150 years, but obviously that's a whole like other topic for like a whole other video. But needless to say, germane to this ink, a number of Turkish words did find their way into the Hungarian language, like cultural osmosis, loan words, and I think like some things like influence the culture and the cooking as well, because like they were just like under like Islamic Ottoman Turkish occupation for like 150 years or so, but they finally got their native culture back. And this is a pen I haven't used for quite some time. This is Leonardo Memento Zero Aloha. It's perfect summer pen. Look at those like beautiful blues. They really like capture the ocean. Hopefully this isn't like too non-zoomed in. I'm still like experimenting and learning what's the best like position for it. So this is Leonardo Memento Zero Aloha, and this is a really lovely blue. It's a little bit tad bit lighter than I typically like, but for the summer, this is just a perfect blue. Sorry if I sound like a broken record. I would say this is more on the medium-ish side of blue, heading towards the lighter, and I just love Leonardo. They're one of my absolute favorite pens. I haven't like gotten any this year. I'm in the phase of my fountain pen journey. I'm getting more like intentional, that's the word, for like curating my collection carefully, instead of, oh, this is a pretty color, or I like this design, or I don't have a pen from this brand yet, or I need a nib size, need a nib in all the major sizes from like this brand, or I have to get all the rainbow colors, such like that. Now I'm just like getting what I want, and I haven't seen any Leonardos coming out recently that really speak to me. This is fine, and this is Pannonia. Still, like, that's also something I need to like learn better to get the hang of, like writing on a notebook page without any lines on it. Like I'm always used to having lines. I just don't get how so many other people doing their videos, oh, they're just totally confident, like it's old hat writing, like completely unlined paper, and they just manage to get it straight all the time, so I don't misspell it. Turuk Kick. Turuk means Turk or Turkish, and cake means blue in Hungarian. A number of the Pannonia inks have cake in their name because they have a lot of like beautiful blues. Turuk Kick. And they do have a lot of diacritical marks in Hungarian. I love the Hungarian language. I've been a Magyar file, a lover of all things Hungarian, since March or April of 1995. I almost said 20th to start. Like, it's, hard to believe the 20th century is that long ago. It's like a foreign world to a lot of these youngins these days. Even like the oldest people born at the end of the 20th century are now grown-ass adults, believe it or not. So yeah, it's a lovely, lovely summer blue, and I don't like to leave too much space blank on a line. That's just one of my little quirks. I'm so sorry. That was a really humiliating mistake. Since I am so out of practice, I completely forgot I'm kind of supposed to write the name of the ink. Like, what an idiot, what an ass. But at least, thankfully, this can kind of, like, this little squill can be turned into Pannonia. See, this is what happens when you don't make videos for a long time. It's just like you forget stuff you used to do effortlessly. This is a sign I'm like so freaking out of practice. Out of like this entire year, have I even done 10 videos since January? So anyway, I hope that does look like Pannonia. So lesson learned. Next up, we have another Pannonia ink, Roca Coma, which means fox friend. This is a lovely and beautiful shade of orange. It seems to be not going down as well as the other one did, because this is a much finer brush tip. What is the size? This is number 0, so that's one of the smaller in that line. I have put it in the Delta Signs of Time Neoclassicism pen, which is one of their the 2 new ones they just came out with in that series. They have 4 more to go. I've been collecting all of them because I just absolutely love art history. And for those of you who might be wondering, like, if you saw or if you have the classical art pen from representing Greco-Roman art history, they do deliberately look, there are definite similarities, but this is a neoclassical, which is more of a orangey kind of red, and this is the classical art, which there's like streaks of green. I'm sorry if the light is ass. I wanted to do my video a bit earlier, but unfortunately, open concept, and when people are right outside your room watching TV and talking and stuff, that's going to be an annoying noise, like ruining your video. So anyway, they have very different shades of red is what I'm trying to say, like more orange, and this is more, I guess, like a reddish brownish with the lovely white and the really cool shades of green streaking through it. And this is, well, they have a little bit of the, no, I don't think they have any green shades. They just have the white and the goldy. I'm going to do a whole video on the entire series when like all 12 of them have been released and I have them, and also going to go over like I'll go over like regardless, like how closely did each of them like match their like projected mock-up. Like for example, the Baroque pen, like it looks nothing like this, and the medieval art looks nothing like this. I only got the first 2 correct because those were the ones they had released at the time. So I got the neoclassical art pen in a fine nib. I'm liking to vary up what I get each one in. Like I was trying originally, my intention was to like get each one in a nib size that really represents that period of history and art, but like that doesn't necessarily always hold true for everything. But so anyway, before I get lose track of what I'm saying like a complete idiot and have to fumble, Delta Signs of Time Neoclassicism, complete idiot. I actually forgot how to spell classicism. So this is a fine nib, and this is, don't forget the brand name this time, Pannonia Roca Coma, which has diacritical marks and only one letter this time. Roca Coma. This is a great, lovely shade of orange. I do highly recommend it to use, guys, as well as the entire Pannonia ink line in general. They have a color for you, like no matter what you like. They have all sorts of different hues and shades and all sorts of stuff like that. Next up is Sugar Cookie from Robert Oster. This is an Atlas exclusive. I don't remember if they're currently sold out or not. A number of their store exclusive inks, they do seem to come back into stock. It's not like, oh, what, you like missed your chance if you didn't get like 1 out of 75 or 150 or whatever they did have a particular store exclusive of a pen. I'm not really sure how to describe this color. It does really evoke the feeling of a sugar cookie. It's kind of like a brownish, plummy, gold type of ink. And I put this because we're staying with the theme in the, is this one of the, no, it's not one of the current, it was the next to last, or the release just before this one of the Delta Signs of Time. This is the Baroque pen. This is like so absolutely gorgeous. This isn't a Brodem. I'm so sorry if the light is ass. You can't really really appreciate it but it's a beautiful shade of brown. I really did want to do my video earlier in the day, but you know, when people are like planted right outside your room making noises with television and blabbing and stuff, it's gonna ruin the video, like all that annoying noise picking up in the background. And like, anyway, I will never be able to see or hear the word Baroque without thinking of the immortal words of my 10th grade European history AP teacher, Baroque, think butts and seats. He was comparing, I know I'm dating myself yet again, like the rap music and other modern stuff in the film Sister Act to bring like young people into church, and that's what the Catholic Church did with Baroque art and architecture during the Counter Reformation. It's like really drying up to a lovely shimmer. So this is another Delta Signs of Time. I wanted to get Rococo in broad as well, but unfortunately they were sold out. I got it in a medium, and after that, wouldn't you know it, they came back. There was more broad in stock for Rococo, but you know, oh well, like Rococo wasn't necessarily like as in your face and ostentatious as like the Baroque art. So you know, whatever, like medium is still like plenty a good representation of the flair for that style of art, but that's not one of my currently inked pens. Delta Signs of Time. I'm sorry if I'm blabbing too much about side topics and stuff not exactly related to the inks. I know a lot of other people doing these like videos, they just, this is the ink, this is the pen, that's it, I'm immediately moving on. But you know, I'm a writer, so like, you know, storytelling comes naturally to me. I'm not like, you know, all business. So Baroque. It's really kind of hard to describe exactly what this color is, but it's really beautiful. And the pen as well, it totally evokes the feeling of the sugar cookie. Hopefully the light is shining on it better now. Baroque. And this is Robert Oster sugar cookie. I've heard some people saying Oster, so like let me know down in the comments, is it Oster or Oster? This is an Atlas exclusive. There's enough space to squeeze it next to the miniature swatch because I did a big one. Oster sugar cookie, Atlas exclusive. Hopefully I'm not leaning too far into the frame and flashing you guys the gray hairs at my temples. Sugar cookie, Atlas exclusive. Atlas, I don't know if I can squeeze the whole word into there. Just exclusive. You get the idea. Next up is Sui Gyoku from Pilot Iroshizuku. It pairs perfectly, just like everybody online seemed to be saying, with the Pilot Custom 743, the verdigris for the U.S. market. This is like such a wonderful pen. I got it in a Falcon nib. You know, they keep jacking up the prices of the Japanese pens, and I kind of understand, like the yen has been in the toilet for quite some time, plus the rising price of gold. So this is like pretty much the only, you know, like heavy duty, you know, like non-student grade type of Pilot I need. It's just such a damn good pen, and it's such a lovely shade of like turquoisey teal, like, you know, kind of in between those two. It really does match so well, and the Falcon nib is a lovely writing experience, kind of like a softy flex type. So Pilot. Yeah, I'm not really like familiar. I don't really have like any flexes besides this and one that's coming a bit later in this video. Custom 743. I forgot to write verdigris. Verdigris. This is Palette Iroshizuku Sui Gyoku. Shizuku Sui Gyoku. This is a great pen. They still do have some in stock at a number of US retailers, but you know, the nib size is slowly starting to diminish. I'm not going to be like reprinting this pen to my knowledge. Like once it sells out completely, like that's it, unless of course you can get it on the secondhand market. Now we have Hades from Wearing Yule. This is a beautiful, beautiful shimmery black with like dark blue sparkles in it. It's perfect. I love this ink so damn much. I shouldn't like do too much painting with it. I'm gonna leave not much space left for the other samples on the rest of the page, and I'm gonna have to squeeze them in, but it's just that damn gorgeous. Like before I, you know, lose myself and paint the entire rest of the page, or maybe have to go to the other page. And I put this, actually filled this up at the in late June, so you know, there's still a little bit left. This is BENU Astra Gems Palace. I got this because the blue and the white and the black, the colors of the Estonian flag. I've been an Estophile since like 2001, and this is the pen I've decided to designate for my like sparkly, like special black inks. Like, why should I have a boring, no offense to you guys if that's your style, but whatever, like for me, a boring like black cigar shaped pen with, you know, like gold or silver trim, like this is the kind of pen I like for using black inks. So in the Astra Gem, as far as I aware of, like, you know, all the major US retailers seem to have, like, you know, pulled it from their lineup, and it's like getting harder to find, like even at like, you know, non-US retailers. So I have the Midas coming with my Inkvent calendar in October from Cult Pens, but you know, thankfully I managed to complete that series. But they do have a couple of store exclusives on their website anyway. Enough blabbing. This is BENUs Astra Gems. You see, like I do not have a streamlined process yet. Like this is exactly what goes first. This is exactly what I'm gonna say and do now. Astra Gems Palace. Hopefully I do not drag my hand through that wet ink. I'm always having to, like, you know, hook my hand through the tripod. Astra Gems Palace. This is a medium. All of my Astra Gems are in medium. This is my favorite BENU nib Palace. Oh, and it's really, really like drying up to like this gorgeous, gorgeous blue shimmer. Now I love Greek mythology too. I'm finally getting back into my, you know, like Greek like etymology of names and like words and stuff with Greek roots now that I finally have free time again. Astra Gems Palace. This is Wearing Yule Hades, and I will write it in Greek, although my lowercase delta still like leaves a lot to be desired. I'm pretty sure I'm not really doing it like the way I'm supposed to, like, you know, forming the upstroke curlicue. And Yule Hades. It's really a shame Latin and ancient Greek were taken out of the, you know, the curriculum at so many schools in the US. Like we could really like benefit from. There's actually no letter H in ancient Greek. They would put like an accent mark at the beginning to indicate rough breathing through, like Hades or Hera or Hestia. I'm not sure if I'm doing the rough breathing, you know, properly, but like you get the idea. Like they knew like when to use an H. Hades. I just love the myth of Persephone and Hades. Persephone is actually my #1 favorite name for a girl right now. I would totally give that to a daughter of mine, and it was a really happy surprise. I think it was 2019. It actually entered the US top 1,000, and it's in, I think, the 600s as of the last year's like top 1,000. So like maybe that's gonna, you never know, it'll be much higher in popularity, even into the top 200. That would be really, really fun. Continuing with inks inspired by mythology and folklore, we have Ice Dragon from Monteverde. This is Drumgoals exclusive. I have a prior video swatching some Drumgoals exclusive inks I got last December. This is such an absolutely like ass-kickingly like awesome, totally rad teal. It's so damn beautiful, and I put it in another Delta Signs of Time pen. This is one of the other one from their recent two release alongside neoclassicism. This is romanticism. It is so damn gorgeous. I just cannot stop freaking, painting with it. I just want to keep using it and using it. And I got the romanticism in a fine flex. I had never used a fine flex before, and I love this so damn much. I cannot wait to get like more. Anyway, this is Delta Signs of Time Romanticism. It really goes lovely with the pen of time, romanticism, and dragon, like, goes well with like romanticism. The Romantics dreamt of dragons along, well, then they did a lot of other stuff too, but that's like one of their things. Flex fine, and this is Monteverde Ice Dragon. It is so damn gorgeous. They also have an Ice Queen ink, which is this has golden shimmers in it. The Ice Queen has like silver sparkles. This is Ice Monteverde Ice Dragon. I highly recommend this ink. This is like ass-kickingly like awesome. Now we have Spiced Apple from Diamine. This is from a previous ink vent calendar, but not one of the ones I personally got. I saw so many people raving about it online, and it really did live up to the hype. It's so freaking gorgeous. Unfortunately, it does look like I will have to go onto the other page because I used used up so much space here for doing swatches, but maybe I can make it work the last few. It's a beautiful chameleon ink, and I put this in, it's an eyedropper pen. Well, I mean, you don't have to eyedropper it, but I prefer to eyedropper their minimas instead of using cartridges or the tiny ass Kaweco Sport converter. This is the Cult Pens exclusive 20th birthday pen. I'm sorry if the light is ass, but I said like I wanted to film earlier, but like I just couldn't because there was too much annoying noise in the background that would have like totally effed up my video. And I have a video about unboxing this pen. I cannot believe I got number 8 for it, and the 19th birthday Cult Pens exclusive was also number 8. Wow. So what are the odds of that? This is BENU Minima, and this is a medium. BENU Minima. This is all sold out at Cult Pens now, so you can't get it. But as last I looked, they still do have some of their 21st birthday pens, which is a BENU Tribute Minima. It's so hard to write when that like tripod arm is in the way. I have to make sure I don't bump it or like hook my arm around it. BENU Minima, Cult Pens 20th birthday. They had to drop the price by like $200 or more before people finally started buying more of it. Like I guess they realized like, well, that's way too much like dough. Like no wonder like we're not selling it. We have to do it to a more reasonable price for a pen of this size, and that doesn't even like come with a converter. Cult Pens 20th birthday. 20th birthday. Well, I mean, of course, I love all of these inks, but like this, it's such a beautiful, beautiful, sparkly red ink. You can probably tell from looking at these swatches and from my previous currently inked reviews. Guys have watched them. There's nothing like subtle about my taste in colors. I love like bright, like bold, like vibrant. I don't really gravitate at all towards like lighter pastel shades. This is a medium, and this is Diamine Spiced Apple. Lovely. Diamine still need to do a lot more practice with like the best like positioning and zoom like proportions of the tripod. Diamine spiced apple. Seems to get easier to like write on lined paper as I get towards the end. I'm not sure what's going on there. Apple. Next up is Pride from the Diamine Deadly Sins line. This is the only purple in that lineup. This is a Cult Pens exclusive. Yeah, these are 30 ml bottles. They also come in larger 50 ml bottles if you would like that. But like this is, you know, plenty of ink to tide me over. I would totally, I would, I'm not like sure, like maybe there are a couple I wouldn't get a refill on, but this is, you know, 100% top of my list for getting a refill when they do run out. It's a really lovely like medium-ish shade of purple, like a beautiful shimmer, like one of my favorite purples. Like purple is my favorite color. Maybe I'll try to squeeze half and half onto the bottom of the page so I don't have to go onto the other side and like waste space coming up with new pens to ink, just so I don't like waste it. And so I put, you know, don't forget to cap that. I don't want a humiliating spill all over the desk. This is in the this is an Atlas exclusive as of the date of this filming. It's still in the store, but there aren't many nib sizes left. Edison Collier Blackberry Cobbler, and I asked for an even mix of the colors if possible, because I mean, nothing like against whoever likes pens like that, or you know, the pens themselves, like, you know, different strokes for different folks. But I personally did not want to like get a pen with like a huge like glob of like white and a few like tiny ass streaks of, you know, purple and black. I just wanted an even mix with the purple, the white, and the black, and they knocked it out of the damn park. Particularly this cap is beautiful. There's like golden shimmer peeking through. It is just absolutely perfect. And this was is still, as of the date of this filming, a doorbuster from their sidewalk sale. It is so beautiful, and I got this one in a broad. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So this is Edison Collier. And I wanted to get it in a broad to just like, you know, showcase my purple inks. Like, you know, like I have so many purple inks, including shimmers, and they're not necessarily always represented in the best way in a fine or even a medium nib. Blackberry Cobbler. Yeah, this is a nice juicy broad. Cobbler. This is Diamine Pride. Oh, and forgot to do the medium. Not the medium, the broad. Can I squeeze it in? Hopefully we'll be able to do that. And last but certainly not least is Sailor Shikiori Tokiwa Matsu, which is a really lovely shade of pine green. I put this in the BENU Euphoria matcha latte. I have an unboxing. I had an unboxing video of it, but I decided not to put it up because I was just like, you know, rambling, and I was just so embarrassingly out of practice at making videos. So I just put up a short of like, you know, showing the pen and such like that. Like maybe at some point in future I will make a full video going over all of my BENUs, or like break it into the like the tributes and the talismans and the euphorias and the minimas. But yeah, this is a lovely shade of ink. It does, you know, perfectly match this pen. This is a Goulet exclusive. I am not, you know, like some people on Reddit, oh no, they're the devil, tertiary guilt by association based on, oh, I saw Goody Goulet with the devil. But, you know, I don't get into that kind of like stuff at all. But, you know, I don't like to get political on this channel. But anyway, just like squeeze it in at the very last. This is the new Euphoria matcha latte. Matcha latte. This is Sailor Tokiwa Matsu. Okay. Matsu. Can I squeeze all that in? Yes, this is Sailor. Oh, that was a tight squeeze, but I did it like learned for future currently inks. Try to have the swatches uniform in size and like don't make them so big, even though I just love the color. It's like so fun like painting with them. And so here is a close-up of all of the inks. First up is Turu Cake from Pannonia, Turkish Blue, then Roca Coma, Fox Friend, also from Pannonia, Sugar Cookie from Robert Oster. Like, tell me in the comments, like, how is his name supposed to be pronounced? And then we have Sui Gyoku from Pilot Iroshizuku, a beautiful teal, and like tipping the page. You can really appreciate the beautiful shimmer. That's why I love the big swatches of the shimmers, because like it's so much easier to appreciate the gorgeous like shimmery particles, all the like the sparklies, and when you're doing a huge swatch instead of like a tiny ass little sample. And so anyway, then there's Waringil Hades. It's a beautiful like black ink with blue shimmer. And then we have Ice Dragon Monteverde, the Drum Goals exclusive. Spiced Apple from Diamine, a chameleon ink, and then we have Diamine Pride, a beautiful purple shimmer ink, and finally Sailor Tokiwa Matsu, a beautiful like piney green. Thank you very much for watching all the way through to the end. Let me know down in the comments what pens and inks are you currently using for this month. Do you like to let your pens like stretch out from month to month? Like, you know, you don't necessarily use all of the ink up, but you know, there's still plenty, so you keep using it for another month, or you just like to fill your pens in general for, oh, these are my summer pens, or these are my like autumn or winter or Valentine's Day pens, or whatever, for like a general season instead of only a month. So just like let me know your thoughts down in the comments, and thanks again for watching. Hopefully I will be more like better and streamlined in pen currently inked videos going forward as I continue to do more of them, and I, you know, get back into practice. So thanks again for watching. Bye.